Hello everyone. This is a 1944 Steely. Yes, I've done all the tests I know to do over the years to it myself. It's been out in the light of day, probably more here the last few days than any time in its life. Bob Simpson owns two. I think it's two. I think he gave a cool mill for his. Oh, it's in much better shape than mine. Mine is terrible. But his is really awesome. It's a mirror finish and all. I get to see a lot of misinformation on YouTube, so I was just wanting to explain what really is going on with it. The Wheaties in these years. There's 3 years that you can focus on: 42, 43, and 44. Basically, they decided to mint in 43 steel pennies, obviously, so they could use the copper for the war effort, for the jackets of different things, this, that, and the other, on different types of equipment and whatnot. So, at any rate, in 1942, there were a few pucks left in. I call them pucks. Yes, I know that's not the right name, but there's little slugs that were left in the baskets of copper when they went to the steel penny in 43. And so consequently we have a whole lot of 43s. I personally think it's just being lazy, and so that's how those got in the mix. And they're worth quite a bit as well. Now, when they decided to go in 44 back to the actual copper penny, they, I'm sure, went through their heads and thought, we made a mistake of having some, slugs in this last batch that were copper, and that kind of made some collector's items. We don't want to do that again. So, because the government's kind of strict about different things, and this is one of them. So, long story short, what ends up happening is that they know of two, and so on different places on the internet, different places like that, I will actually see where they're saying, well, there's only two 44S's, etc., or 44s that are out of steel, which isn't true, obviously, because there's another one sitting right in front of you. So this would make, to my knowledge, the reason for the whole story is that makes three. I'm retirement age now, and so I did decide to drag it out, and we'll see what happens with it. At any rate, I wanted the people to be kind of looking at something that maybe they hadn't seen before and have their own little personal picture or video or whatever of it. So, hence, we put it on YouTube. And in the background, behind this penny, you'll actually see that there are scans of this penny, because as it turns out, and I don't really even have a very powerful scanner, but as it turns out, the best images that I'm able to get of the coin is not by shooting a picture of it, it's actually by scanning it in at a high resolution, such as what you see on the little mat below this coin. And so I'm going to actually switch over and show you some of the scans and what they look like. And as you can see, it makes a much clearer image when you actually have scanned it. So I scanned it in so that there's no mistake. It is a 44S Steely. It's my little buddy. This isn't due to my having this coin. Is not due to just one person's effort. Me kind of watching around and seeing if I could find one or anything like that. What it is it's actually been put up by two different individuals over a period of over 60-something years. And I think that kind of speaks for the intelligence of the people that actually picked it out at first and saw, this and thought, this just does not look normal, and they decided to keep it. Everybody's going to ask, why are you showing the 2012s? Because it shows that it is an actual picture. As far as I'm concerned, it shows that it's an actual, not a replica. That's a real penny. That's on the other scan, and I don't know. If you don't want to believe it, you don't want to believe it, I guess. At any rate, that's a 44, and that's why we have them. Sorry I'm jerking the video around too much and all that, but I'll leave my hand off of it for a minute, because my intention was for those that wanted to rip a still picture off of this, and then that way they'd be able to save them a copy of it or whatever. I know that's what I do when I see coins on video or something like that on YouTube, or I see pictures of them, etc., from somewhere electronically. Then I just have to have a copy of it. That's all there is to it. Well, anyhow, I will turn it around and let you see the back. I don't really like handling it much, so I won't, but I'm going to turn it around, and we'll see if you can actually see the back there. I don't know. It's not very clear, I'm sure, but I'm not going to flip it over. This is kind of my one and only time I want to have it out, so anyhow. I like to see interesting coins and pictures of coins, so those of you that have coins that are interesting, upload them in response to this or something, because I like Wheaties. I got a ton of them, and I've had them for a long time. Also, some misconceptions that I keep continually seeing on YouTube is that they're all worth a bunch of money. I guess that's according to how poor you are. First of all, the 40s and up, most of them are not worth a lot, but they are worth some money. I have a lot of them that I won't give away, but most of them I would say are worth 75 cents to $3. It just depends on who's buying and what their mood is that day, to be honest with you. And if they're not in really excellent shape, they're really not even worth that. So that's kind of one of the things that we run into dealing with coins and stuff all the time. And I just have a small little private collection, and that's all that I have. But at any rate, open to all offers too. Hey,